All right, so you know you're here because you want to get right into the stuff that matters, right? No time wasted. Today, we're looking at a big one. I mean, a seriously big one, the digital divide. And we've got some fascinating material from EON Reality, talking about their three-pillar approach.
Yeah, they put out this whole announcement outlining how they're thinking about it.
And that's what we're going to break down today. Why it matters, what it is, and why it might be a really big deal.
Totally.
This is a deep dive, so we're getting into it.
All right, so EON Reality is coming at this saying, look, we've got this global problem.
Yeah.
Huge numbers of people who just don't have access to the digital world or the skills to use it, even if they could get online.
Yeah, and that's what makes this three-pillar approach so interesting, right? It's not just about, oh, here's some tech, now you're good to go.
Right.
It's about how do we actually empower people, give them the knowledge and the tools to create something, not just consume.
Exactly.
So let's get into it. Pillar number 1, program. Specifically, they're calling it the AI for Income Academy. So what is that?
So this first pillar is all about building a base, a solid foundation of knowledge. So the AI for Income Academy, it's this structured learning program. But what makes it really stand out is this focus on adaptability. Like they want to make sure this works for anyone, anywhere.
Okay. Adaptable in what way, though?
So they're using AI-powered personalization. So imagine like the program kind of shifts and changes based on you, how fast you're learning, what you need more help with. If you get something quickly, it moves you on. If you're struggling, it gives you more support.
That makes sense. So it's not just a one-size-fits-all kind of thing.
No, not at all. And they also designed the whole curriculum to be available in 37 languages.
Wow, 37. That's a lot.
Right away, that just breaks down so many barriers
Yeah.
for so many people. And then on top of that, they're building in this community aspect, community-based learning model. So it's not just you sitting alone learning, you're learning with other people.
Oh, interesting. So how does that community thing actually help people learn?
Well, think about it. You get different perspectives, right? People can help each other understand things. And there's this sense of like, we're all in this together. It can be really motivating.
Okay, that makes sense. So it's that social element kind of keeps people going.
Yeah, exactly. And the Academy also really focuses on building that core tech literacy, like just the fundamentals, how digital tools actually work.
Right, you got to start somewhere. Got to know the basics before you can get to the fancy stuff.
Exactly. But it doesn't just stop there. They go beyond the basics and get into domain-specific applications.
Domain specific. Okay, what does that mean?
So instead of just general tech skills, it gets tailored to your field. So let's say you're a farmer. You would learn how AI could be used in agriculture, optimize irrigation, predict crop yields, things like that.
Oh, I see. So it becomes relevant to your actual life.
Exactly. It makes it practical.
Yeah.
And then they also layer in this focus on entrepreneurial thinking.
Okay, so it's not just about being a user. It's about creating something new.
That's the goal. They want to encourage people to see a problem in their community and think, okay, how can I use technology to solve this? Like be an innovator.
I like that. And then they top it all off with implementation skills, like actually putting what you've learned into practice.
Yeah, it's all about taking action. So that's the program pillar, equipping people with knowledge in their language with a community and pushing them to think outside the box.
Okay, I'm starting to see the bigger picture here. So that's program. What about process? That's pillar number 2, right?
Yep. That's where the EON Entrepreneur Guide comes in.
Which sounds like it's the how-to guide for taking what you've learned and actually making something real.
That's a great way to put it. It's a system, an 8-step methodology. And it guides you through turning an idea into something concrete, something that works.
Okay, 8 steps sounds pretty in-depth. What are those steps?
So first you figure out your purpose. Like what are you actually trying to achieve? What impact do you want to have?
Okay, so that's step 1. Then what?
Then you got to figure out the money side of things. How to monetize your solution. Make it sustainable in the long run.
Right, because good ideas need funding to survive. Okay, what's next?
Then comes the really important part. You have to assess the problem in your community. Like really understand the specific challenges people are facing.
Okay, so really get down into the details of the problem.
Exactly. Then you move on to solution discovery.
Yeah.
That's where the brainstorming comes in. Figuring out what kind of tech approaches could work.
Okay, so you're starting to think about solutions now. What then?
Then you move on to adapting the technology, taking those existing tools and tailoring them to fit the specific needs of your community.
Okay, I see. So customizing those solutions. What are the last few steps?
After that, it's all about implementation planning, making a concrete plan for putting your solution into action, and then market development, figuring out how to reach the people who need it most.
Wow. Okay, so that's the whole process from A to Z. But it's not just a static guide, right?
Right. So they've built in decision support, AI. It can give you guidance at each stage of the process. Plus, there are tools to help you track your progress. Make sure you're staying on track.
Nice. So the process pillar, it's all about the structure and the support to actually make things happen. Okay, so now for the last piece of the puzzle. Platform. That's the EON-XR platform, right?
That's it. This is where the learning and the doing really come to life.
So it's the environment where everything takes place.
Exactly. And they claim that it can make you learn 4 times faster.
4 times faster. Wow. Okay, how?
It's all about the immersive experience, multisensory. Like when you're actively engaged in a virtual world, your brain just absorbs information more effectively.
Okay, that's interesting. What kind of experiences are we talking about here? Give me some examples.
So they have these virtual practice environments. You can simulate real-world situations.
Right.
Let's say you're learning to fix a machine. You can practice in VR without any real-world risks.
Oh, I get it. So you can make mistakes and learn from them without any real consequences.
Exactly. And they have all these built-in support tools right there in the platform. So if you get stuck, you have help right at your fingertips.
Very cool. So the learning environment and the practice environment, they're one and the same.
Yep. And it's designed to work on pretty much any device, so it's really accessible. Oh, and this is a big one. It works offline.
Offline. Why is that such a big deal?
Think about all the places where internet access is unreliable or super expensive. This makes it possible for people to learn even without a constant connection.
Okay. Yeah, that's huge. So we've got program, we've got process, we've got platform, but the real magic seems to be how they all work together, right?
Exactly. They call it a reinforcing ecosystem. And that's the perfect way to describe it. You know, the program gives you the knowledge, then you use the process to build something with that knowledge. And the platform helps you learn faster and apply what you've learned in a practical way.
Okay, so it's all connected. Each part supports the others.
And the best part is they've already run pilot programs, and the results are pretty amazing. Like in Africa, they used this approach in agriculture, and they saw post-harvest losses drop from 40% to 12%.
Wow, that's a massive improvement.
And farmer income went up by 37%.
That's real impact.
And it's not just agriculture. In Indonesia, they used the platform to expand access to specialized medical consultations by 580%. Like, imagine what that means for people in remote areas.
Yeah, that's life-changing.
And in India, they improved water management efficiency by 63%. So there's real potential here to tackle some big challenges.
Okay, so this isn't just theory. It's actually working. And they've already got a pretty big user base, right?
Yeah, 42 million users worldwide on the EON-XR platform.
That's a lot of people. So how are they planning to scale this up, make it even bigger?
So they're targeting governments, educational institutions, and development organizations. And they're doing it in phases. First, building the foundation, getting the infrastructure and partnerships in place, then running pilot programs in different regions to test things out, and then finally scaling it up to reach even more people.
Makes sense. Start small, test it out, then go big.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they're putting their money where their mouth is. They've got this $50 million EON development fund to support tech entrepreneurs in the Global South. Plus, they're setting up regional centers of excellence, partnering with universities in Africa, Asia, Latin America.
Wow, so they're really investing in this.
Yeah, they're serious about making this happen. And the ultimate goal is to empower those communities, help them become creators and problem solvers using technology.
It's about shifting the power dynamic. So they're not just passive consumers of technology, they're shaping their own digital future.
Exactly. Building their own solutions for their own problems. Oh, so to sum it all up, EON Reality's 3-pillar approach is all about tackling that digital divide. They've got the program, the AI for Income Academy for building knowledge, the process, the EON Entrepreneur Guide for putting it into action, and the platform, the EON-XR Platform for making it all come to life.
And the real takeaway is how they're integrating those 3 pillars. They're not just separate pieces. They work together, they support each other, and the results from those pilot programs, they show that this could really work.
Yeah, it's promising stuff. It makes you think about how this kind of approach could be applied to other big global issues, or even just in your own work. Like, where else could we use this kind of integrated thinking to create real change?
That's a great point. If you're listening and you want to dig deeper into this, EON Reality has a whole white paper on this. Plus, they have their own podcast and a spoken blog. You can probably find links to all of that on their website. But that brings us to the end of our deep dive.
Thanks for tuning in.
Catch you next time.